Hi, it's a crafty chick and welcome to my first and 15th series. Today we're going to make a glue holder and it is a 3D project, and I did case this from another demonstrator from New Zealand. It is a project that she posted over a year ago, and she is under the name Paper Addiction. I'm not sure what her name is, but that's where I got this from, and I tweaked it a little bit to change it up, and this is what I came out with. So this is what we're going to do, and just for your convenience I went ahead and did a quick overview of the steps. And yes, it actually is this easy. So I will just leave Mr. Holder here. Right. Bloop. Let's see. Put him in here so you can see him on the sides without covering anything up. There you go. All right. So keep him in mind while we make this. And this is really cute. You could use this for anything, really. You could make this for someone for their lotion. You could change the dimensions to make it bigger or smaller. Now on this one I used Rich Razzleberry and Pink Flamingo. This I kind of was using scraps that I had. So, but what I'm going to do today is we're going to use black because I think that'll look pretty striking. And we're going to use the same paper. We're going to use the paper that is the Tropical Escape, and I'm not sure if I have small enough pieces for that. No, I'll just have to cut another piece. And then we're also going to use, sorry, I've got to get out the Tropical Escape paper. So here is what it looks like. It's beautiful. I have, I think, 4 of each page, just because, you know, I like it so much. So I am going to actually try to find the same background page I used for this project. There it is. And we can cut that one. And then you're going to want this piece, and you're going to want this one, which has that on reverse. And as you can see, I've already cut out some leaves and flowers, so I'm just going to use this one for the flower. I don't think I have any viable leaves left. There's actually a few leaves that you could actually cut out, so I should have used one side for the leaves and one side for the flowers, but that's okay. I still have some left. And we're also going to use these dies. These are from the Tropical Chic set, the Tropical Thinlit dies. Okay, and I'm not using any of the stamps today. Now, if you don't want to use your paper up, you can always use the stamp and then use these to cut out the stamps. That's an option as well. I just want to have that finished look that you get using the Designer Series paper, and I wanted to find a stamp-free project for today. No ink! Pretty cool, huh? So this is the stitched framelit shapes, and we're using the smallest circle. And we're going to use the outside of the leaf, the inside of the leaf, which it might come looking like that. And we're going to use this, which is the flower cutout. So I'm going to do my cutouts first, even though the order of directions are slightly different. I like to do the hard part first, and then we can do the cutting, folding, and putting together. And if you know me and you've watched my videos, you know I love to use my magnetic platform. It looks pretty gnarly, but I love it. It keeps everything in place, and I don't have to use any tape. And you can just cut right on it. And you want to place Now, since the magnets are a little bit funky, sometimes you have to move this around to find where the magnet's going to sit. And you want to make sure to get a flower, a good cut. On this one, I actually, did I do one or two? Nope, I just did the one there. Oh, and the one there. The back is supposed to be a little longer. I did an oopsie on there, and you can't actually see the flower in the back, but you will on this one. And I'm missing my bottom plate. Okay, so we're going to put that through. I could do a couple things at a time, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to do one thing at a time so we don't get too crazy. Alright, there's the flower, number 1. Cute. And let's find another one. This one, will this one work? You have to make sure there's enough room around the edges. Let's see. No, if I pick it up, I can. If you pick it up and you can see the hole through the other side, that's not going to work. Maybe this one. I saw one. Ah, is that one going to be? Yeah. Oh, here's one. This one will be good. Okay. And if my magnet doesn't work very well right there, I'll just have to cut the piece of paper, but it looks like it's going to work. Alright, flower number 2. And you notice I didn't put it through all the way, I just put it through as far as I need to hear the snap, crackle, and pop, and then I come back. And it should pop out rather easily. Next, we're going to do a flower. Now what I did here is I did 2 leaves. I did so it would look layered. Now I don't know if you can tell. You know, it's hard to tell 3D items on a video because it's there, maybe for like that. So we do have 2 layers to the leaf. And I think I might put it up on some dimensionals this time, maybe mini ones, so it pops out more. Let's use this one. This one's good. And we can also do this one. I'm going to do 2 different ones, so whoops. Helps if the cutting side is down. And see how that fits perfectly right there? Done and done. It's a lot easier than stamping. Now if you ever cut out these flowers and you think, oh, they're a little flimsy, just take this die and cut out a piece of cardstock, white, vanilla, whatever, and then just adhere it to the back to give it some extra thickness. Alright, so we have this piece and this piece. Come on. And that's it for now. We will do the rest. We'll do the circle in a minute. Okay. So we have all of our little pieces here. We need to get our trimmer, and we are going to cut the color cardstock at 2 by 11 inches. Use any color you want. I'm using black. And I'm going to cut the 11 first because it leaves a 1/2 inch, right? Or is that, nope, I don't have 12 by 12 paper. I have 8.5 by 11. Silly head. All right, perfect. I don't have to lose any extra there. Make sure it's lined up. I have a habit of throwing it in there and then slicing before I've completely lined it up. So you want to make sure you line it up at the top and the bottom before you cut. Okay. And if your blade is not like super sharp, it might shred it a little bit. Just go like that and that'll fix it. All right, and now your second piece you're going to need is 2 by 4.5 inches. So let's do the long part first. 2. Let's see, it's 4.5, and now we'll do the 2 inches. I'm doing the numbers backwards. Super dyslexia. Okay. Then you need some designer series paper, and we're going to cut one piece at 1 3/4 and 2.5. So yeah, these are going to be small. Okay. 1 3/4 by 2.5. See, then I don't forget either. Writing down the directions. It seems a bit silly maybe, but it does come in handy. Then we're going to need 1 3/4 and 1 1/4. So we're going to have some paper left over anyway. Let's just make sure this is the 1 3/4 side. Okay, and now we're going to cut this next piece at 1 1/4. And you probably are yelling, it's 1 1/4. You just looked at it. But I have that habit when I cook as well. I have to double check because sometimes I do get the numbers backwards or I read them wrong. So I like to double check before I do any cutting or measuring. Okay, so we have these little pieces. Now what we're going to do is we're going to score the paper. So we are going to score the big paper first at 1 1/2. So you're going to use your light score, or you can use your scoreboard. And it's hard for me to do this upside down, so I'm going to have to put it this way. All right, at 1 1/2. And hopefully I score and I don't cut. I have to double check I use the right blade. Okay, make sure it's lined up. Okay, that's 1 1/2. And then again at 3. And then again at 4 1/2. So it's in 1 1/2 increments. And then again at 6. And then this is going to be your backdrop. See, it's a little bit bigger than the one I have now. And then this one is going to be scored at 3/4 of an inch, which is tricky on this because you don't have the bar right there, so use this bar. Or you could cheat and use this, so put it right there. That should be 3/4 of an inch. Is a spare? Yes, it is. Yes. So, sorry, sometimes I have French words in my head from when I used to study French, and I think that in French first before English, so I was saying that in French. This means I hope. 1 1/2. So if you occasionally hear me just say random things in French, just ignore it. If you've taken any language or you know how to speak more than one language, you know what I mean. Sometimes you just think certain phrases in that language. Like when something's awesome, the first thing that comes to my mind is formidable, which I don't know if that is conversational French, but in school, that's what we use to say something was awesome. Okay, we have all our folding, cutting, and scoring done for that. Now, what we want to do is fold everything here. Just fold on all the score lines. Oh boy, that was pretty easy. All right, so what we want to do is, this is the part I'm hoping I get right. Because if this comes around like this, whoops, up here, I have to do that to see. Okay, so what we're going to have is this. So we want this one to be cut. So I am going to do something daring. If I can find my marker. That means I might trust myself to cut it on the right side. I always use my white chalk marker if I'm doing things in dark paper. So you don't have to do this, but this is just me, so I don't get confused. X marks the spot. Sorry, I was folding it over and doing an X. So that way I know where I'm going to put it. And then this one is going to line up right under it. So we're going to line up these two pieces so the edges are lined up and even the fold marks are lined up. Okay, and that's where we're going to put our circle. Ta-da! Why does that circle look so big? Well, no, I guess it's not. That's the size we want. It's just I'm looking at the edges rather than the inside of the circle. All right, so we'll put our papers down, making sure that they are perfectly lined up, and you can tape them or clip them together, whatever you have to do to ensure that they are lined up. And then you'll want to put this on so you have the same amount of space on each side, this way and this way. So try to center it as best you can. All right, and put it through. And cross your fingers. If not, we can always cut more paper and keep going until we get it right, but I have a feeling that this is okay. Sometimes with the black paper, I end up getting like white spots on it. I don't know why. Probably the shedding of that metallic. Keep that in mind in the future. There we go. Okay. And then you have two circles. Well, this one has an X on it, but still, you know, you could use them for something. I never throw away two perfectly good circles. Let's see, I have, here it is. I have a little eraser. There it is. I don't know if you can see that, but I have like shedding from my magnetic platform, which I was not counting on, and that's bothering me. Okay. So I might need to put like a piece of copy paper or something on it so it doesn't shed on my dark cardstock. Okay. Now we're going to take this one, let's see, fold it up like that, right? Yeah. And then we're going to do this one too. So this one, let me see how I have to do this. So this one will fold up like this, and it's going to go right here against the end like that. And I am going to use some glue instead of just using any other type of adhesive. And let me get my little glue pad, because this does stick like a son of a gun, so we want that to stick. Using my old glue to make a new glue holder. Okay, and make sure if you fold it up this way and then you put the first fold here. It's black, so I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm just going to line it up so that the folds line up, and then put this piece, and it make sure it touches the other one, and there you go. Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then you're going to take this piece and fold it over. Oh, I did not realize using black paper was not going to be the best so that you could see it, but you can see here how I did it. Whoops. So you're just going to fold this piece over. Oh my. Ah, you know what? Let me get my other light. Ah, better. Better, better, better. There we go. So you're going to take this piece and fold it over like that. So let's go ahead and glue up this piece and fold it over. Line it up with the bottom and then press it. There we go. Now, the way I made this edging here, since I don't have that tab punch to make the pretty scalloped edge I wanted here, I cheated a little bit by using this one, and I used only part of it. So I gotta figure this out because I did this funky the last time. Yeah, how did I do this? Oh, I know what I did. Okay, I have to get a second piece of paper. Because I did cut it funny before. So I'm just getting another piece of paper that is 2 inches wide, and it doesn't really matter how big it is. So we're going to cut another piece of black paper at 2 inches. Okay. Since that's how wide this is, right? So what I have to do is, is that going to work? Yeah. We'll see what I'm going to do. Even though it's going to be only part of it, I have to make sure I center it. If you have a tab one, then you'll want to use that. Okay, so then I actually have put that up like this. That's what I had to do, and then my DSP is going to go over that, so no one's going to see that anyway. And then I just lined it up so it covers up the top, so it sticks out a little bit over the top. And oops, we don't want any of that glue to show. We'll get that later with the glue eraser. Okay, there. Now, if you have a tag one to use, that would be better. And I'm just going to kind of snip these off on the sides. There. Okay, so there we have it. And I don't have the tag punch, so I'm going to just put a little hole punch here, as I would for any tag. There. And we're going to put some ribbon in there in a little bit. Now, we are going to take our DSP. Why do I feel like I'm missing a piece? Oh, I need to make this a little bit longer. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Unless, I think I did this right. Yeah, because we're going to have that and the flower. So you can make this a little bigger, and I think I'm going to, because hers, I think hers was a little smaller that using her measurements. So I think I want this to go all the way up to the top there. So I think I'm going to make that bigger. Let's get another piece and see how long this is. So we are going, it's hard for me to do this upside down and backwards, sorry. I want it to be right there to there, so I think I need it to be 3 3/4. So let's try that. Did I say that? 3 3/4 or 3 1/4? Three and a quarter by 1 3/4. Sorry, I was looking at something else while I was doing it. So yeah, I was not measuring it right. Okay, so this should fit what we want. Yep, see, you can just adapt things to fit the sizes you want by just adjusting it a little bit. So that's what I did. So here I adjusted mine. So this is going to be, I did this 3, and I can't write upside down either. I'm going backwards. 3 and 1/4. Did I do that right? Yep. So I changed mine to that because I had to use that extra other piece. All right, and now we're going to glue this on the back of that. Okay. But you know what? That's what I love about paper crafting. That it is not an absolute like math. That's why I always liked English languages, science, and history better than math, because math is an absolute and you cannot change it. Even though we use math for crafting, we're just going to ignore that part of the crafting. But you can always make adjustments, and we're going to put the little piece there to accommodate. Oh, what's going on with my camera? Stop that camera. I see it's doing that zzz. I don't know why. Sometimes it does that. Like an old television set. And this is a new camera, and I'm using my Logitech software. So hopefully this will smarten up. Oh, come on, camera. I see that. I don't know if it's going to... Yep. Wow, that's terrible. Stop it. Make sure my connection is good. Something is haywire here. Okay. Anyway, now we've got those pieces. And it's time to do this piece. So let's put these together. You've got the leaf and the skeleton of the leaf. See how I do that? And I'm wondering if I should let this sit up a little bit to give it a 3D effect. We'll give it a try. I'm going to use some mini ones though, because I don't want it to be super thick. I have some mini ones here. Here they are. And always keep the edges of these, because it's good. You can just cut it to size actually, so I always keep those too. I'm going to use some of these minis for the skeleton, and see how that goes. Oh, that looks cute. Yeah, I like that better. Much better. Nice 3D effect. Okay. And so sometimes I find that the minis are not as sticky as I want them to be. And I wanted to just check it before I did anything permanent. But I use my adhesive glue only because it's not that the adhesive on the minis is terrible. It's just that they're so small. So something that's small doesn't have enough surface area for a sufficient grip sometimes. Especially if it's something like this that might get pulled on or rubbed against or something. There. Now that's going to stick forever and ever. And now I'm going to get a bigger dimensional. And I'll just use one of these corner pieces. And we are going to put that, yes, like this. Just like we did here. And one should be good. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue because this is a 3D project and I want to make sure this does stay. Okay. And we'll put it right there. Oops, I don't want it to oopsie-doo. There, I don't want it to go over the bottom, otherwise it'll catch. So we want it to be even with or just above that piece. All right, now we're going to get another dimensional and we're going to do the back of the flower. See, once we got the dimensions set, everything's easy. I told you, it's math. Math is my nemesis. If I was a superhero. Yeah, I want to do it this way. Math is definitely my nemesis. Okay, and then we're going to get the other little flower and put a piece of behind there. You can see that. Let's just put a little bit of glue on for extra measure. That was a little bit more than a little. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to put this over to the side. I actually put that there because I was hiding something. Yeah, I made a mistake on the cutting of that. It came out messy, so there. All right, and now we're going to get some string. Now, I was not sure if I wanted to do the granny apple or if I want to do the pink or both. I think I'll do the granny apple because there's a pink embellishment right there. So let's see how this goes. Not sure how it will fold. I need my special tool. And this is just like a little threader that I got at the store. You can get them at any store because it's easier. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. Okay. And you can also do two, like here I did two, but that's because they were like a little bit thin, but this is a nice thick one. So I'm just going to do the one. And I have a pair of scissors around here somewhere. And I'll put it right there. Whoops. Yeah, those are not my ribbon scissors. Those are a little bit not, those aren't sharp. So, and I'm just going to, do I want to do it that way? No. I'm going to do it the way I do my tag ribbons. Oh, I got all kinds of tape sticking to my fingers. Okay, we're going to go this way. Come on. Like that. And, whoops, sorry, you can't see. there, like that, and then I'm going to pull it through there, and then do this loop like this. I want to make this a little bit more even on the sides. There we go. I like my ends to be a little bit even before I pull it through. There we go. That's better. That's better. Now get our thick scissors. Here they are. And kind of, oops. There. Give us our little edges that we need. And you are finished. Voila! You have a pretty holder. And I'm going to move this out of the zoom a little bit. There we go. So you can actually see this standing up. Enjoyed this project? I hope you check out my sites, and I hope to see you again on my next project. So this is a crafty chick saying thank you, goodbye, and happy crafting today. See you later. Bye-bye.